Hi, good morning, Homestead Diary. This is Amber. I was just cleaning out the greenhouse and I have a lot on my mind, and I was trying to figure out why there is such a discrepancy between different purebloods even. And even those who have gotten the jab. Like, why do some of them act sane and why do some of them act insane? And I was trying to figure out, figuring out the numbers, thinking of like, who do I know that's awake, is what I thought. And and what's the difference between those who are awake but then not 100% awake or able to be zombified again, switch sides, the wool pulled over their eyes, the curtain, drawn back so they can't see who's operating the Wizard of Oz. And I think it has to do with screen time, maybe, or exposure to 5G. I think that the people that are having the most troubles that are purebloods are the ones that are have jobs at the computer, and those who are jabbed that seem sane are the ones that are actually outdoors and doing stuff and conditioned to the natural environment. Maybe there's some sort of GMO override or something like that. I know that sounds ridiculous. When you're in the natural environment, where maybe there's some purification process, and they're in some sort of trance, and when they're outside, then there's a new awakening. And so I think that this is something that my husband brought up. How does he get his family, who have been wearing the mask for over 2 years, scared to leave their home, like sending Christmas cards with masks on? How do you reach those people? Like, how do you wake them up? And I think that we're going to find out here pretty soon that a grid down situation puts us all kind of in an awake mode. Like, you have no choice but to be off social media and off, even YouTube, even this platform. You won't be able to watch this most likely. And so when you're outside doing stuff, you're able to think through things, I think, a lot more in depth. You might have like an internal feeling of, okay, this seems reasonable. Like there's a common sense kind of to things. Like, does my gut tell me that these are the people that people are telling me that they are? Or is there something different? Like, have they ever really attacked me? Have they ever really done anything to me? Or is it just things that I've heard? And numbers do lie, depending on who's what do they call it? It's like numbers never lie, but the bookkeeper knows how to tell a tale or something like that. I mean, there's an actual saying for, you can make numbers look, percentages and was it significant? Is it statistically significant? Or is it significant at 5%? And so, is it reality? Is it real, or is it something that that doesn't mean anything, or can be contrived? And it's hard to differentiate that. It's hard to actually know when you've been hornswoggled or conned or whatever you call it. And so I don't know, but I do think that probably the Great Reset is the network going down. One of our friends recently was telling us about there was 10, or maybe even 12 planets, and one of them was called Wormwood, and that planet only comes around every, I don't even know how many 5,000 years or whatever it is, but that that previously it had caused things like the Gulf of Mexico and, the issues in Russia, where there was a huge comet that took down, meteorite that took down all the trees, or, during the dinosaur era. And it doesn't have to be much. Enough to choke out the satellites, and enough to choke out, potentially electronic devices with a lot of power. Basically it's energy. It's, their aurora borealis is the ionosphere burning up, protons and electrons and through the magnetosphere. And so, when energy comes in through the magnetosphere, it hits the Earth's north and southern poles, the dipole magnetic, Earth, and it skews, the solar wind just skews one side and pulls out the other side. And there's different regions of the magnetosphere, and there's different amounts of, the way that the electrons and protons move. And so this energy field that protects the planet, depending on how much is coming at it, it definitely will have an impact on our electronics. And so, and of course, there's the theories that China or some other entity is going to produce this super EMP. And initially I was super concerned and trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do? Passive solar and propane lanterns and backup water systems and those types of things. And I'm not saying, that we don't need to be thinking about that, but I think with the mass psychosis coming to an end at the same time, potentially those concerns of there not being enough people to haul the water, and there not being enough people to help you garden, and there not being enough people to work as hard as you need to work, and I think that there will be plenty of people coming to our farm and our lives, the people that are awake, that are working, that are ready, that are like sane, awake. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. The world is changing, and I hope that you are aware, and I hope that you are outside and doing what you need to do, and thriving and just existing. And my daughter actually told me today, she said, "Mom, have you ever had the thought that the whole world hates you?" And I said, "Oh, honey," I said, I have those thoughts sometimes. I think that the whole world is against me, and I get super overwhelmed and super upset by people's comments or what people are saying about us. But then I told her, I said, there's 7 billion people on the planet. And the people that are talking bad about Mama and Daddy, or that you've heard things of us having conversations or different things like that, it's like 20 people. Or like, just such a small 200, let's say. That's way exaggerated. The entire town, it's like such a drop in the bucket. It's actually comical to think that we care about what people think. But, I explained to her that it's our morals and it's our character that are being questioned. And so we have that instinct. I think it's an instinct to try to explain and get them to understand and see it from your shoes. Walk a mile in somebody else's shoes and you'll understand. I've forgiven people for horrific things because I realized that they were taking energy from other people because they were so lost, because they didn't know how to make their own energy, because they could only hurt others rather than produce their own happiness. And that's what I explained to her. I said, honey, Mama and Daddy and I are investing a lot of energy into this because we care about what people think about us. But does it really matter? No, because Mama and Daddy know the truth, and the people that are closest to us know the truth, and the people that are awake and and jabbed or unjabbed. I mean, we have people that are gotten the jab and they are still sane, and bless them. Bless them. For some reason, God has not forsaken them, and I think that's the other part. Like even if you've been jabbed and you start working outside and you have a new reality on life, God will not forsake thee, even if you've made a mistake, but please don't get the mark of the devil. That's pretty close. I mean, those digital wallets, that implant, that code, that scan, all you got to do is walk up and scan yourself, and you're going to be able to, oh, you got that little square on you. Oh, your own little, they're already doing it on your iPhones, and, you got to walk up and use it, and that's how you access commerce, right? Well, we won't be able to access commerce anymore. Bless you and have a blessed day, and please comment, please help me understand, please stay awake and stay outside. That's the best advice I can give you is, watch this video and then go outside. Have a blessed day.